lot of professional concept artists will trace poses and like.
Yeah, I traced the pose for all of these silhouettes.
Yeah,
that just duplicated it.
Yeah, in concept art, because you're not going to be selling your final product, you know? Like your job as a concept artist is kind of generate ideas, and you're kind of the first part of the process, not the end part. So they don't mind if like you trace.
That's cool.
It's just to get your
That's
idea.
refreshing.
Yep.
Because I'm doing concept art for gaming as my focus, and I watched, I think Steven Robertson, he sent me like 4 videos, 2 hours long, and it was literally all Feng Zhu.
Oh,
talking
Yeah.
about,
Pog, dude,
like,
he is the god, Feng Zhu. We preach him pretty hardcore. He is there's nobody else like him in the concept art industry.
he's very raw, man. When I watched that video, he's like, you're gonna go and expect to be the guy making the main characters, but he said you're gonna start out as a junior artist drawing that lamp that's in the background, and like
You better learn how to fucking draw those crates.
Yes, draw them crates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
If when
And
you
I don't
get
have a problem with that. So I just want to, and I don't have to work. Like, I'm retired. My backstory: I was in the army. I jumped out of planes. I jumped. My parachute didn't open, so I hit the ground, and now I'm medically retired. So I'm just wanting to like chill out, do something I love doing for once, instead of working for the man. So I'm down to work for the bottom of the line, like an indie game company, and help really, or be a professor at SCAD, or just be a career advisor. It doesn't matter. I'm ready to chill out.
Man, that is super awesome. That is really, really cool doing what you love to do.
Yeah, man. And everybody, like all my parents, are like, you're gonna be an artist? What the hell? How are you gonna make money doing that? And it's literally everyone's response to me. They're like, they don't think that you can make money doing art, and I'm like, here to prove them wrong. Hopefully.
There's so many ways to make money doing art. I think people don't realize how like everything they interact with on a daily basis is like came from a designer
Yes,
somehow.
that is a big true. Yeah.
Every film on television, every game, your furniture was all industrially designed at one point.
I think that
Cereal box.
Is architecture.
I think another thing that a lot of people don't realize is how like small a lot of our industries are. Like
A blossom or a poppy or I'm sorry, I'm answering Zach's question.
like the concept art industry is probably less than 2,000 people. Like there's probably less than 2,000 concept artists working in like film, games, and all of that as like studio jobs. And there's a lot more studios than that need concept artists. Like there's a huge demand for work, and a lot of concept artists work multiple jobs, but it's really like a pretty young and obscure industry for like a lot of stuff like tech art, doing rigging, doing like modeling. Modeling is like the comp sci of the art industry, and there's still too many people that need it, and there's a lot of jobs for it. But yeah, there's so many ways to make money in art.
That's kind of why I bought ZBrush. I figured at least, because I think when Steven went to the lighthouse, he was saying a lot of it's moving to like 3D, and a lot. I mean, obviously digital, but 3D is a big one. And it was like, if you can sculpt like by the end of your time, because I'm going to go for the master's in illustration, and hopefully by then, like me being a sophomore now, until then using ZBrush, I'll be good to go on it. But I'm hoping I'm making the right decision now, and what the industry's going to look like in 4 or 5 years. Like, is ZBrush still going to be relevant then, or?
Yeah, so like
100%.
100%. So for concept art specifically, they usually don't want to see like that. They don't want you to. They don't. You don't want to show them that you can do like a super high fidelity model that's crazy well rendered, and even like even if you're a 3D artist, that's not really what you want to show. As a 3D artist, usually you want to show, hey, I can put a model in game and it can still look good. As a concept artist, you don't really need that skill. What you need to demonstrate is I can implement 3D into my workflow to make it faster, because 3D like takes the amount of time you need to put into something and just like hardcore slashes it. It is absolutely insane how quick 3D can make a process. Like, you don't have to care about perspective, you don't have to care about anatomy, you don't have to care about lighting, you don't have to care about where you're placing your camera. You can kind of like ideate through that whole process, the technical part of art, and get straight to like the idea like super quickly. And that's why a lot of studios value 2D artists that can use 3D to make their workflow more efficient.
It's super cool that ZBrush already has pre-made models.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is sick. But all right, that's good pointers. Yeah, I'm just looking for. I mean, I'm trying to gather and be a sponge, as much knowledge as I can get from
And dude, that's the best way to do it, without a doubt.
I bought like a bunch of 3D. I think I have every 3D publishing book from Ex Libris, and
nice.
I'm really like I wrote down all the industries I want to work for. I find myself liking Dark Horse, and I know that there's stamps on a lot of these, like Gears of War 5, God of War, and Days Gone, and Guild Wars, and another one over there, Rage 2, and Jedi: The Fallen Order. Like all those art styles is just sick.
Yeah. I think Dark Horse publishes a lot of their work. My favorite publisher for like educational stuff is 3D Total. 3D Total Publishing makes some of the best educational art books if you really want to get into the nitty gritty.
Sketching from imagination, like character. What is it? Creating stylized characters.
Yeah,
I've got all those
dude. Yeah,
books.
sick. Did they do the creature design one? What's it called?
I've got that one too. It's creature design, and of course you got character design quarterly, and then
yeah, dude, you know your stuff. You know your stuff.
Yeah, trying to dive into it. I got a lot of digital art masters and digital painting techniques to try to follow it, and I'm learning like I see this the stream that you're showing right now. That's like a lot of rough stuff, right? That's what they want to see, right? That's like the gist of your job, regardless.
Which stream are you tuning into? Me or Will?
I think Will, right? Is that
Yeah.
Will? Yeah, Will's.
I'm just silhouetting out stuff. I'm just trying to figure out like what I want to do. I listed like a few kind of aspects that I'm making a skin right now for this character named Swain, and Swain's this kind of crazy like bird demon man.
Okay.
I don't know. And Riot has these crazy skin lines that are all like super unique and have their own stories in that. So I'm designing a skin for Swain in the Coven / Old God skin line, which is like, very like not Cthulhu, but like, people
Witchy.
worship like a dark god.
Yeah, it reminds me of like
This
Hollow
character's
Knight.
supposed to be that dark god.
That's cool.
So
when I look at it, I see like Hollow Knight a little bit in there.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for the sort of, I mean, I've kept the silhouette black with having like a white helmet with horns. Yeah, that's pretty Hollow Knighty. So you could definitely see that. But now I'm figuring out like, because Swain's big thing is he has this demon hand, and I got to figure out what I'm doing with that, because that's like his iconic sort of shape.
Put a bunch of eyes on it.
Yeah, I was thinking eyes, and I'm gonna replace like his wings with like branches, like these white branch things that are coming out.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I like that too.
Like a birch tree type thing.
Yeah, like a birch tree. I couldn't think of the name of the tree. I just know there's a white tree that yeah, a birch tree.
The only reason I know that is I was playing Minecraft 2 years ago, and I like.
Yeah, there you go.
It's sad. It's bad for me. Yeah, I got to let my kids. I got 3 kids, so I just run them through like, oh, what are you going to draw today, Dora or what? And then I'm over here drawing Moana and a lot of Marvel stuff. Because Iron Man's like the epitome of my son's world, and he's only 3.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Join the chat. Feel free to talk. You're not muted when you come in. We're going to be doing a work along, so you can tune into me, Will, when Zach starts up, and Chris later when he starts up too. But for the most part, we really, really want you guys to join this portfolio development process. with us. A lot of the stuff that we've been talking about the previous meetings, we really want you guys to kickstart it, and get that going. If you guys do, if you guys want to take the plunge and just start working along with us, and you show us, hey, I'm working with you guys today, and then next meeting you post again and be like, hey, this is what I've been doing. I've got this fat, about $80 to $90 value Gumroad pack that I will be giving out to anybody who participates in this portfolio development, because hey, I want to encourage doing good stuff for your work. So yeah.
And not to brag, but I'm pretty ahead of the game, and I'm not even a concept artist.
Did you post those skins that you did yet?
No.
Why?
Because I wanted feedback on my Yale Yejin. Ew.
Oh man.
I'll post the skins too. There they are.
In all their glory.
Classic stuff.
Hey, for doing, you did like, what, 6 in a day? For like just doing rough drawings, that's pretty You could have done all of Skintober like a pro, and a lot of people got their careers doing that.
6 skins, like 90 silhouettes, and I also did the gun silhouettes too. That's 8 more silhouettes. And that's what I did last night to prepare for the meeting.
I can't wait to see. I think you just need to look at more guns.
I hate guns. I hate first-person shooters. I don't want to be here.
Hey, look, if the poster artist could do Riot Games concept art, I'm sure the concept artist can as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to get some Riot.
And I'm whatever the hell I am. But I could do concept stuff.
The first-person
Doing it right
shooter is literally the only game that like I just cannot play. I have absolutely zero interest in it. I think the only shooting game I like is Splatoon, and it's because it's painting.
I completely understand.
That's and you know, like League is okay. I've played my fair share amount of League games, but the real appeal to me are the little legends. Why? They're adorable. They're so cute.
Oh, you know what? You know
Little
what I can do?
legends.
We're gonna do something. Give me 1 second. This has been a request for a while.
I put these on the same layer. Oh, fuck it. It's a concept. I don't care.
Welcome to concept art. Don't hold it too close. It'll burn. Here, let me share some.
Okay.
Some little legends. If you guys want to apply for Riot and impress them, but you don't like League of Legends, and you don't like guns, what you should
Maybe
do
don't
is
apply
craft
for
up.
the...
No, apply anyway. Do it anyway. But you can always make the tiniest legend. There's a whole market there. They're making mad money off of these littlest legends. They're so cute. I love them so much. The recent... Let me find the recent set, because they play music.
I forgot those existed.
I got more people coming in.
It's our boy
What's up?
Rhythm Bot.
Oh, cool. I wasn't looking. Just going
Say hi
off
to the
audio
bot.
here. I'm using such a shady software to stream this.
What software?
I have no idea what it's called. Like iOS player, like take my credit card information, like, I mean, it didn't ask, but like, it's very shady.
But it's
But
about
it
a
allows
step
me to
away from doing it.
Yeah, but it allows me to stream my iPad to you people, so
That's pretty sick.
kind of epic.
The sacrifices you make.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta take the L to take a W somewhere else.
Credit card fraud, yummy.
Please look at these absolute babies I just put in voice text. Babies.
See, I used to play like a lot of League, and then I got out of it, and then so many things were added, and so I like forgot a lot of
Honestly,
things.
like once you break out of League, it's probably one of the best things that you could do for yourself.
No,
like,
it
flat
was.
out,
It was
yeah.
like a detox. It was
And,
like,
dude, I swear to God, like League of Legends is like it's like a drug to me. Like I'll go through like periods of like addiction and recovery, and I'll get away from it for a long time. But it's dirty claws will eventually get back
Yeah,
at me eventually.
I stopped playing for probably, it was like 4.5 years, and then the Spirit Blossom event happened, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, I
I'll
gotta go
play
date
with-
those champions.
Exactly. I gotta do that stupid dating sim. No, my friend like wanted to play with me, and then the event happened. I'm like, okay, like,
That's
I'll stick
always
around.
how it happens. It's like, oh, dude, someone's like, hey, you used to play. Do you want to play again? It's been a while. I'm like, I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But yeah, maybe one
It's really
game.
addicting.
Yeah.
It is so, because you keep wanting to play. It's like
Yeah,
you lost,
and like
or you want to win.
the worst part about it is that it doesn't even feel like you're getting addicted. Like I've played more League of Legends than is a respectable amount in my life. Like it's not a good number. And then like I genuinely dislike the game at some fundamental level, and it'll bring me back, and I'll be like, man, I really hate playing this game without friends. I really hate it. It's fun as a social game, and then like 5
Yeah.
games later, I'm like, I got Mountain Dew just somewhere, Doritos on my lap. It's just like, I don't know.
Fuel, right?
Yeah, it just sneaks up on you, and it's like, wait, am I having fun again? Oh no.
Yeah, I don't like playing on my own. I used to. I played so much when I was like probably
Multiplayer
13,
games aren't
14.
fun by yourself.
Yeah,
There's-
no, and also,
That's the conclusion that I've realized.
well, it's
Like,
the
single player
community.
games are good by yourself, but it's like,
I mean,
I
they
don't know.
have to be.
yeah, exactly. But like,
That'd be kind of bad.
the, like, I'm a big Destiny fan, but Destiny isn't really fun to play by yourself.
Oh, I could play Destiny
Like-
by myself for like.
Yeah, I can play Destiny by myself too, but like, it's a lot more fun when you've got people.
That's fair.
It's like
yeah.
an inexcusably better experience.
Inexcusable. you
Unless
say.
for like lore stuff. I love my lore.
But what were you saying before? Something about League.
I mean, it was just generally like, I played a lot when I was younger, like too much when I was just getting in high school, middle school that time, and then I was like, okay, yeah, this is why I stopped playing, because I was getting like 3 hours of sleep
Do you know?
before my classes.
Oh my god. Do you know what the worst part is? Okay, because I was such a gamer growing up that like so backstory about Concept Art Club president. I didn't start making art until like basically my senior year of high school. I always knew I wanted to work in games, and for a long time I knew I wanted to be a concept artist, but I never made art. I just did I watched a lot of videos, and I psyched myself out because I didn't know how to learn how to make art. But I played an absurd amount of League of Legends, and I went to a lot of events. Like I went to Worlds 2014. I go to PAX every year, and I met so many industry connections from doing that at Riot. And I can't quit the game because I want to work at Riot, and all of my network connections are through the game. So it's every time I take a break, I'm I feel so bad because I'll lose contact with a bunch of the people that I set up slam dunk industry connections with.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I went to Worlds 2016 in Chicago.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, I was also again a child. But I would say video games definitely contributed to me wanting to do art. I was gonna come to SCAD for Sequa, which is odd because usually it's the other way. You start illustration then go to Sequa, but I knew about SCAD for a hot minute. I was like, yeah, I want to do sequential arts. And then I was like, oh no, I don't. I don't know anything about comics. I just want to like make concept design. So League was a huge part of that too.
Yeah. Man, dude, the Worlds 2014. I think it was 2014. It was either that or 13. The Worlds I went to was in
What season
LA.
was it?
Season 3 or 4. It was the worst Worlds that was ever. It was TPA versus SKT, I think, and TPA 3-0'd like in like 45 minutes. It was like
Oh my gosh.
18 to 20-minute games. It was this like a curb stomp every single game, and then we left. It was very.
Jeez.
I think that year though they had Imagine Dragons playing. That was pretty cool though.
Yeah, that probably would have been 2014, just about, if it was Imagine Dragons. I remember that. 2015, maybe?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
something like that. I just remember being like really hype, and it was just over so quickly, and there was like nothing to like do. Like it was a best of 5 that was over in 45 minutes, and it was like we were expecting it to go like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, but man, no, clean sweep.
Jeez.
Have you been following Worlds this year?
No, I haven't. I really was trying to, but I just didn't.
Here's another fun fact. TSM, like the original TSM, were from my hometown, Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Like their gaming house was like 6 blocks away from like my early childhood house. So I was a huge TSM fan. TSM this year at Worlds was one of like the funniest dumpster fires I've ever seen in pro gaming. Like it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was actually like embarrassing.
I think I remember hearing stuff about that from
Yeah.
other people.
TSM is the only team ever in League of Legends' esports history to be the first seed in their region and get 06 sweeped. Like they lost every single game, and some of the reasons they lost games too is just really funny. Like their jungler Spiga was literally the only member on the team that was like playing the game. Yeah.
Especially his jungle. That's like a
Yeah,
lot.
dude, it was sad to watch. He was like hard. He was trying his heart out. He was the only person. He was 1v9ing. He was trying to, at least. Nobody on the team was like playing at all. There was one game where he landed like a 5-man sleep on Lilia, and the rest of the team just ignored it. Like just like walked away from the team fight, and it would have won them the game.
Oh my god.
But yeah. But outside of League of Legends esports, and all that jazz, one thing that we kind of wanted to talk about a lot this quarter, even if you don't like League or you don't want to work in games, we kind of set this up to give you, the club, the experience of kind of understanding the requirements of a studio in an internship capacity or for like a job, going through the process of developing a portfolio tailored to them and then applying, and that experience, just doing the full motion of it, is amazing, whether or not it's a studio that you want to work on, and just kind of being able to identify and develop that process is something that we really wanted to push. So even if you're not like into the game, or if you have another internship or studio in mind, it really doesn't hurt to go in and try and follow along and just go through the motion, send in an application or something. Like you never know. Like an internship application is there's like no commitment there. It's just, send it in. Who cares what happens? Only good can come from that.
That being said, if there's any new people who haven't been following along, I posted all of our previous videos in the portfolio work along channel. But like, if you have any questions, Yanni, Zach, and Will are here to not only work along with, but can review anything. If you want to work along so you'll be eligible for that sick Gumroad $90
brushes,
value pack.
tutorials, Yanni's treasure chest, his war chest.
The
If you
war
wanna be
chest,
eligible
yes.
For Yanni's war chest.
Yanni's brush Gumroad I can
Yes.
speak, I swear.
It was
war
a
chest.
really good effort.
Yeah,
And don't
really
know where.
tried my
Let
hard
me finish. And don't know.
$90.
If you guys here, I can send a screenshot of everything that's in it. If you guys just follow, if you guys follow along and show that, hey, like we saw the presentations and we were developing a portfolio and we're looking to like apply. If you work today and any other time for the rest of the quarter and you post it in the portfolio work along, you will basically win a free Gumroad war chest, as we'll put it, of about $80 or so of Gumroad ArtStation materials that I've picked up for club.
But yeah, so if you want to be eligible for that prize, maybe you watched a little bit of the videos, maybe you had this is your first meeting. If you don't know where to start, now is your chance to start asking questions. Yanni, in the previous meetings, pretty much outlined like his ideas, what he would do if he wanted to make this portfolio project, what he would do if he wanted to make this portfolio project, and he basically said, just take my ideas, do it, make the art. So that's what I did, because I don't know enough about League of Legends. I just stole his ideas.
In the voice text chat, here you go. That's what you will be getting for participating.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What's 500 plus? Is that a lot of that? Is that 500 plus things?
I'm pretty sure it's a 500 plus gradients for gradient mapping.
Yo.
That's kind of pog. If I've ever seen pog, that would be it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of like really complicated gradient textures for material like glass, different kinds of metals and different ways to gradient that metal. So like bronze, rose gold, stuff like that. And it's been super useful. I use that one all the time for a bunch of different stuff.
And you're telling me all I need to do to get that is to make a portfolio piece that will help myself?
Yeah, right?
Is to have a good time and
That's
draw?
crazy. That's crazy.
Dude, no way. So you're telling someone like me that I could just draw along with these other concept art members and have a chance at winning something?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. Get the war chest.
You get Yanni's war chest. We gotta do art of of the chest itself. Of course.
Yes, Chronicle.
What am I looking for? Pictures of Swain.
I'm so here for it.
Let's get this one. This is very powerful. I'll be taking this.
Big true. We're all ghosts here.
Just had a dumb moment. How do you screenshot on a Mac?
Control.
Command Shift 4 is going to give you the little icon where you can select, and Command Shift 3, I think, will screenshot the whole screen.
Depending on the
I switched
version of
to
template you have, if you do Command Shift 3, you can crop it out later.
Got it.
Or you can
Click on the
Omega
thumbnail.
Brain and you can crop it in Photoshop too.
I did like some weapon designs like way back on October 10th for the fun of it. They're not very great, but I figured I'd just...
I've been on a huge prop binge recently. I was doing Swordtember. I still want to finish Swordtember, even though I'm a month late. That was so much fun. I want to just do a whole bunch of props right now. So I'm on doing Valorant stuff. This is what I got done for Sword Timber.
Oh, wow.
That guy there, and
Actually, where's the bigger Sword Timber?
insert that guy
Oh,
there.
hey, that's cool. I like that a lot.
I was like, I have.
Oh, is that like a
30.
Molotov flamethrower?
Yeah, it's like I was like in between Fallout, thinking of like a cool lever action where you could just pick up like the Nuka-Cola or something like that and just throw it in there and shoot whatever's in it. You can put whatever liquid, but
Yeah, that's sick. That's like a cowboy super soaker.
yeah.
Mm,
But as soon as I seen the Fang Zhu video, I was like, all right, well, let's go draw something. I guess
Okay, everyone, I call upon you. We're gonna pick a design to work through.
Sick.
Okay, we got 6 silhouettes. We've got a demon arm. We'll figure it out, everybody. So, me personally, I'm leaning towards oops.
You're
I
leaning
like
towards 3, aren't you?
no, I don't actually like 3 all that much. I like 4 and I like 5. 3 I like, but not as much. I like 4 and 5 the most, and I kind of like the head thing from 6.
I do like
But,
that thing from 6.
Yeah, I like the way those horns are bent.
I
But
like the heads of 1 and 6, and I like the taper on 5. The only reason I don't like 4 is because I think that it's really
it's
droopy.
too plague doctory.
Yeah, well, I don't mind it that it's plague doctory. It's just very droopy for Swain, and Swain seems like,
He's confident.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I do like the hat of 1, but I'd have to change that to be more birdy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's gonna be a mixture of all of these. Really, is really the verdict here.
That is true. Let's have it be.
Design 4 body with yeah, I mean, I kind of like the asymmetrical, like, because it's supposed to be like branches. Because Swain, let me show a picture of like Swain here. Swain's got like, I don't know. Well, I mean, this is a picture of Swain. He's got this big coat. He's got this big fucking demon arm. He also has these little like spikes on his coat, which are reminiscent of like bird feathers, because his whole design he's themed after a raven, because the demon he took is like a raven demon. So he needs to be confident, he needs to be powerful, and he's also an old god in this case, because that's the sort of skin theme we're going. So he's gotta radiate
So that's
power
that raises an
and
interesting
mystery.
That raises an interesting question for me. Is that what kind of deal would an old god make with something more powerful than it? Right. So what's going to be this old god's raven?
Yeah, no, you're right. What lies beyond? Like
yeah, like what is the patron of the old god?
I think it's less so a patron, and more so I'm gonna reach into Destiny lore because that's what I do. I think he's a god slayer.
That works.
He's
too.
so powerful
Yeah.
that he killed another god, took his arm,
I like
slapped
that a lot,
it on.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So he's an old god who attained old godhood by killing another old god.
That's convoluted and eldritch.
Yeah, and I think it works. So we're gonna shrink this back down. I imported 2 of them. I'm very cool. So we're gonna shrink these back down, and I think my problem. Okay, so we're gonna keep these. I'm just gonna start rotating all my shit around. Leave that there. Make this canvas bigger, and we'll eventually have to shrink it as well. What's it called? Canvas crop and resize. Here we go, gamers. Gonna make this really, really big. But my layers, I'll shrink it back down later. I just need to see all my reference on one thing. Actually, wait. Let me grab some more reference as well.
Didn't he get a rework, if I'm not mistaken?
He
Like,
did.
a
He used to be
redesign?
really derpy, really derpy character.
Who,
Yeah.
Swain?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no, Swain used to look really lame. He used to be this old man
Right.
who hobbled around on a cane.
Yeah, he had a cane. That's why I was like,
Yep.
wait. I
Threw
forgot.
weird fire at people, and
Yeah, and then they reworked Swain to be really badass and cool. And my main,
Hmm.
my Swain main, as the kids call it. I don't. He's a cool character. He's got a lot of. He's powerful. He's cool, except he's an old man. Did I not share this with myself? Did I? No, I did. There we go, boys. So we share this. This is another skin from that same skin line. So the skin line that I'm doing is Coven, and it's like a cult of witches who all worship like an old god. So Swain is that old god. And I do want to borrow some design elements. Like this is where I kind of pulled like that birchwood from this is Lysandra. So there's definitely some elements to be pulled.
Okay, so Yanni,
mm-hmm.
here's my question.
What's up?
Let's say I'm applying to Riot. They like to see that we know their world, so maybe I throw in like one skin design project, and like maybe I make like my own champion, and it's in like the league style.
Mm-hmm.
But what original work can like what would further complement this? What kind of different pieces should I be working towards
So that's a good
that
question,
are
and
OGs?
so that's a good question, and unfortunately, the question doesn't have a great answer because I've spoken to Riot recruiters like a lot, and Riot is a very narcissistic company. So the best portfolio work you can make from them is stuff that's already in the universe. That's what if you could submit a portfolio like the perfect portfolio, all of it would be League of Legends designs or Riot Games focused designs. If not, they'd like to see work that you're doing in industry, so freelance work, and further or other than that, they want to see stuff that demonstrates that you can work in their style. It might not have to do anything with League of Legends, but they want to know that you have the ability to draw and design in their kind of like stylized look.
Okay, that leads to my second very important, serious question. That's
Gotcha.
very serious.
Mm-hmm.
That was a burp. It was a really gross one though.
Nice.
That was a sick question, Chelsea. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Okay, but here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I really forgot it because I barfed a little with that burp.
Wow.
Nice, nice. That's sick.
What was? Can we go back? I'm confused.
We're
now.
talking about League of Legends. You were asking
We are
about.
talking about League of Legends.
You were asking about what kind of work you want in your portfolio.
What kind of work we want in the? Oh, I got it. Okay, so if we look at the splash image, and I can kind of deduce, oh, Riot likes this really clean look. They like these bevels. They like everything to look a little soft, but also sometimes hard. They like a good variety. I'm very good at looking at the splash image and kind of deducing how to work in that style, but as far as design,
Yeah, so
like
you've
shape
already
language and that kind of stuff,
made a
I
fatal
don't know
mistake.
how to
You've made a mistake.
exactly.
So the first mistake is that if you want a concept in Riot style, you don't want to be looking at their splash art because that's not what you're concepting for.
That's
You
what I'm
want
saying. Is like I know how to like I can deduce the style by looking at splashes, but I can't deduce the style by looking at designs.
well, no, so that's what I'm saying. You're not going to get like the visual style that Riot wants to see from looking at splash art. If you want to know what kind of style you want to work in, you should be looking at how like the models look in game because your concept rendering should try to emulate how it's going to wind up in game. Further than that, Riot cares a lot about a top-down silhouette. Like they want to know how the character is going to look from like a top 3/4, and they care like a lot about like kind of key identifying shapes. But what you were describing
What do
earlier.
you mean by key identifying shapes for like me being a big dummy?
So most characters in League kind of read as like one like shape or like two shapes
Can
because
you,
they.
can
they're-
you give me an example of a champion?
Yeah, so like Ornn is a rectangle, and Camille is a triangle. Like they're like kind of posture and their visual design is like exaggerated so that it reads like almost immediately from like a small top-down look. And usually the worst champ designs, like the ones that aren't as successful, don't have that kind of instant visual read. But the best way to kind of decipher, like, hey, if I want to make my work look like it belongs at Riot, how am I going to do that? You should look at like what Riot concept artists are doing, or how like the final concept looks in game, because you'll see that a lot of Riot concept artists, their final like pitch for a character is going to be them painting over the base in-game model of the champion they're designing. They're going to do like a paint over in like the League Summoner's Rift background from top 3/4.
Actually, I have a great question. Johnny, do you know where to find a blank template of Summoner's Rift? I've looked for so long.
There's
I asked the same
cannot find
question,
it.
and you told me I had to get in game and take the photo.
you can do that. 1 second.
'Cause I tried to look for that. Will, why are you drawing a naked body first? That's just how I do my shit. That's how I figure out my anatomy. I can't figure out anatomy with clothes on. It's just I gotta do the base body and then I throw clothes on top, which is a very like I don't know. It takes longer, but I feel like I just get better results.
Here you go.
So I'm
But
definitely
like
riffing
I want the
off.
background where they do
Oh, there you go.
those videos where they highlight the champion, because that's the view they want to draw in, isn't it?
Yeah, they want it from here. They want you to do like a top 3/4 from 1 second. I will like send you exactly what you should draw over. Yeah, of course, Emilio.
We love giving feedback.
Here you go.
Hell yeah.
This is what you should be
Oh,
drawing over.
that's the dream. There you go. That's the ticket. Pin that shit. Actually, I'm just gonna save it. You did pin it. Legend.
And then here you go. Another amazing thing is you can view any model in the game from here, and you could just take a screenshot of their neutral pose in top 3/4, and then you use that to start your paint over.
So would you say like trying to emulate like a mentor or like a company's style, like you failing to do so will like make your own style, right? But it's not very beneficial for you to have your own style if you're trying to work at a certain studio, right?
Well, it's beneficial to have your own voice, but you do want to like, when you apply to a studio, like if you're like a realist painter, like you're never gonna work on League of Legends. They just can't like use you. So it's very important to have your own voice, and that comes from like how you design. But you need to have a style that you can just change and adapt if you want to work at different kinds of studios. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm not like gonna bring the League of Legends thing to like a Marvel job interview.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, oh man, let me try to think. I have a creative writing minor. I really like writing, but I don't think that. I mean, I see a lot of like thumbnails and stuff. I guess that you'd write about, but um, that doesn't really translate, right? That would only be something if I wanted to illustrate like graphic novels or kids' books. It really wouldn't work out with the concept.
Yeah. So, sorry, I zoned out a little bit. I'm just trying to find a screenshot for some context for something. So
Emilio, I think definitely showing those, like, I mean, you show different angle, like showing the top down and showing like the profile, like of course that's explanatory. Like you want that stuff.
um,
And I like how you included the vents, sort of how that works. That's cool too.
Yeah, it gives it like function or like shows how it would actually work.
yeah, I like it a lot. I think that there's something that's not reading for me on the final design though. Like the 3/4 view. It's either that like I think the wings are a little out of perspective. And I can't. I'm not sure if the undercarriage shape is translating well, like that. The little air vent at the bottom. The wing engines make perfect sense. They're really cool. I like them. I think I would break up that large cylinder that makes up the middle of the plane. I think that it's not visually interesting. The rest of the shape is super visually interesting. Yeah, if that's the case, I would put a ground plane and then like cast a shadow so that we know as like a viewer, right? Scott Robertson does that a lot in his designs, where he would like to explain something, he would put like a shadow and just ground it so that you know exactly how everything's placed. I think that big cylinder that makes up the middle chunk of the ship is visually uninteresting, and I think you can break that up a little bit. Maybe just add some more like technical detail. A fin would be cool, something, because it has like it kind of seems like you're going for that like stealth bomber kind of look, like the very flat aerodynamic thing, and then that cylinder is so like protruding, and it doesn't. It seems like you would either like see that plane try to slim that cylinder as much as possible, or that it's like kind of forming a fin or like an aerodynamic thing, kind of like the NASA plane, the NASA spaceship shuttle, that thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's exactly Chelsea.
Yeah, the nose of the plane that you had is very Blackbirdy. I mean, you take those like reverse front wings off, and you've got a Blackbird.
Real quick though, so using the model site that I just pulled up, what you would want to do is just take a screenshot of an idle pose like this, and then there you go. You have everything that you need to start painting a design on top of it. Like you have literally everything. That's how it's going to look like in game, and you're going to place it on top of the background image, and then you have your pose. You have the character. The perspective's all good. You're free to design, like do whatever you want on top of it. Gucci gang. Sorry for zoning out before though, Jess. What were you saying?
Oh, I miss. Jeez, what was I saying?
I think Jess was talking about like if a creating writing major was applicable for doing this kind of work, or if it was really only if you wanted to do like graphic novels or something.
Creative writing is not going to give you like the kind of classes that are going to let you develop skills that are directly relatable to concept art. But if you are a creative writer, that should be like something that informs your designs in a really interesting way, and that part is very marketable. But you're not going to get like the technical skills that you would need, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Have you watched Feng's video about visual library yet?
Yeah, and I think I talked to Arden again about what writing would translate, and he was like, "You're not gonna." He said it'd be great when you make it to art director, but he said that's so long, so far away. He said if you want to write and do kids books, that's fine, but concept art's all about shapes and communicating with your shapes and like your designs instead of like writing.
Yeah.
I
So
definitely agree
basically,
with
yeah.
that.
So what Arden's saying is basically like once you develop the skills to like, if you think of like concept art as just like pure visual communication, kind of like a language, being a good storyteller, doing creative writing and stuff like that is gonna like influence your designs in a really good way. But what learning like the technique and the actual like doing of concept art, being in the industry, working for a couple of years is what's going to give you the vocabulary to properly communicate those stories. And you can run into an issue where you have a great design mind and great design ideas, but you don't have the proper vocabulary to communicate them yet, and that's going to be really hard to market for a while until you can like get over that hump.
Okay. I'm
Okay,
just
what's
trying to
up,
figure
Dino?
out too, like what a style is or whatever.
Style
Oh,
is
sorry.
halfway between what you like and what's convenient. Like that's
And
that's
once you
the
figure that out, like who it, like I said before, I'd like. I mean, I know Dark Horse is a publisher, and I wrote down a bunch of different like companies that I'm interested in working for. Um, but like I said, I'm a sophomore, so it's like I'm just trying to look ahead to try to plan and like jump right into ZBrush, like I said, digital art and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out how to transition.
The
If that
wise
makes sense.
sage advice that I've gotten from a professor is from Julie Lieberman, and she said, if you don't know your style, pick up a sketchbook and draw the same thing in it until it's full. Like, decide something you like. Maybe you really like parks. So, draw a park on every single page in that sketchbook, and by the end, you'll be simplifying it enough to know like your style, if that makes sense. Like, if you draw a cat every single day, you're pretty much gonna figure out like what the essence of a cat is so that you can eventually draw it quicker. And the way you're doing that, like the way you're going from like really detailed straight from photo cats to like simplifying it and like getting quicker at it. Yeah, the essence of a cat. Well, that's I don't know. Maybe Yanni can explain that better, but
Yeah, so one thing I just want to make like super clear, especially like as a student, style is usually not something that you develop intentionally. It's not something that is going to be like, I want to draw like this and this is what happens. When you get like better as an artist, when you start getting into the industry, you start understanding how to abstract things in a way that like you can emulate style really quickly. But when you're like learning how to make art, and when you're making art without trying to fit into something, your art is always going to be like halfway between what influences you, what you like to see, like the kind of artists you look up to, your life experience, your visual library, what you like to read. That's going to be half of it. And the other half is what's convenient for you, what's easy to do, how do you naturally like to draw, what habits have you developed over your time. And there's no way to kind of like force that process, but the more brush hours you get, the easier that is to understand, because you're going to kind of start developing processes, and you're going to have a lot of stuff that influences you, and then that like it's going to be like something that you don't think about. It's just the process of drawing. Voice, however, is exclusively the first part. What influences you? Your voice is accumulation of your experience, and that is, as a designer, is the most important part.
Okay, yeah, that helps. Just grind and grind and grind until I figure it out. Really,
Yeah,
like I said, I haven't even made it to the illustration classes yet, so
yeah. You have
that's where I'm
so
at.
much time, and you were making like a really good effort, way earlier than most people do. So you got
Okay.
a lot to look forward to.
Hey, from
Alright.
like a rando on inventing your style, I don't know if this helps, but that advice that you were quoting about drawing something in a sketchbook until it's full, I actually did that once, not knowing that I was doing exactly that. This one time I had like this really crazy haircut, and I was like, how would you like draw or illustrate this? And after doing like 10 or 20 different versions of myself, I found like a new style that I was able to work into the meetings at the comics club, and it made getting through like the warm-ups really helpful when I knew exactly how I was gonna like draw myself and other people.
That's cool. That's super sick.
It's something like I never thought about until like Julie almost forced me to do it. I thought it was like really good advice.
Yeah, I think
But-
that exercise is going to make you very apparent of like the part 2. How do you like to draw? What's the convenient way for you to create things? And if you don't know what that is yet, or those habits haven't developed, they're going to develop doing that. Like that's like a pretty it's almost like impossible to not do a whole sketchbook full of drawing the same thing and not kind of get into a workflow where you are taking shortcuts or making things easier for yourself, or falling into like some kind of pattern that's going to influence the way that you like to draw things. If that makes sense.
Dino also had a question, Yanni.
That is true. Dino, what's up? What is your question?
Hi, Dino here, resident 3D artist and former animation student. I have a question.
What's up?
So, okay, I remember you mentioned this before. You mentioned it on several occasions last quarter, and I don't know if I've only been to like one meeting this quarter, but so level of detail. So I remember you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're fleshing something out, like when you're handing it over to like the 3D artists and the modelers, you should have everything tied down. You should know exactly what you want out of this character and what the essence is, right?
Yep.
And so when it comes to that, you know how I think everyone has a habit of adding too much detail sometimes. At what point do you stop? Because that'll affect like the workflow of the 3D artist.
Yeah. So the when do you stop on an orthographic is when it looks like exactly how it's going to look in game. That's your stopping point. If you go too far, you messed up, and if you stop too early, you're making the 3D artist design your design. The goal for creating orthographics for games is that it needs to look like as close as possible to what the final in-game render is going to look like, because then the modeler knows exactly what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. Your art director knows exactly what it's going to look like, and the level of detail is perfect for what the modeler wants to do, and he doesn't have to do any designing by himself.
Okay. So okay, I was trying to think of like champions that have like excessive, not even excessive detail, but a lot of detail in League. Can you think of any off the top of your head, or do you personally feel like there's any champion that has some parts of their design that feels a little unnecessary or excessive?
Set the new champion as a whole.
Who?
Seraphine?
What shape would you call Kha'Zix?
Kha'Zix is a ball.
Aerodynamic.
He's just a little ball. So I think that this is a difficult question. I can give you champions that are really well designed because of how tame their design sets out to be. But when I think of like what makes a League of Legends champion design bad visually, it usually isn't level of detail. It's usually when there is another aspect of the design that's being compromised to fit a certain thing. And at Riot, it almost always happens with female champions, where they're compromising the design integrity.
This new one.
Yeah.
This new one was literally designed to sell skins, but it doesn't. They designed the skins before they designed the character.
I'm gonna do a quick look and see if I can think of a champion that's over designed, in League. But a lot
Probably one of the newer ones.
the newer ones I was actually about to say are really simple, like surprisingly simple.
Set is quite simple, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Silas.
it's just a guy wearing clothes. he's pretty great.
Oh, Rumble.
Um,
Rumble's over designed, like super over designed. Rumble is like
Okay.
a visual mess. That would 100% be the one. He doesn't read at all.
For educational purposes, like, can you like
Link a
let's
picture?
dissect Rumble. Let's dissect Rumble. What makes him over designed?
I mean, I'm gonna post a picture of him, and it's gonna be very obvious why you would say that. This...
Okay, it's obvious for me, but I'm a big fat dum dum.
Oh no, so
You
that's what
know-
I'm saying. Let me get an image of it first, real quick, before we go into breaking down this design.
And that in turn affects the skins, right?
Well, yeah. So if you notice, the trend for making Rumble skins is to streamline his entire design. It's the reason why anyone who plays Rumble will never play the base skin and only play Super Galaxy Rumble.
Super Galaxy.
Yep. So this is Rumble. Rumble has way too much going on in this character. He doesn't respect a lot of intuitive design principles like big, medium, small, or like good ratioing. He's not balanced like at all. He's very front heavy. From a top-down perspective, it's very hard to see a lot of weird details. For example, he has saw blades on his kneecaps. He has suction cup feet. He's got this giant spring mace, a flamethrower, the rockets, and he's a Yordle piloting like this Warcraft 3 style shredder suit. He's got electric harpoons that are a really important part of his kit, and under the base cart that he sits in, the little pirate seat, is a large gear that lets him rotate independently of the legs. And when he moves in game, it's very obvious that there's like a huge amount of dissonance in this character design. And it's kind of like applicable to the character because it's a junkyard mech, like that's part of his design, but it's such a bad visual read and it's not good. It's not a good one. It was very clearly something that was made when Riot was like releasing a champion every 2 weeks, and it feels really rushed. Let me see if I can find some videos of him moving.
Kind of shame. Looking at Rumble's design, you can see how almost like it could follow a lot of the basic design principles, but they just went a little extreme in a few too many places.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at the Super Galaxy Rumble that Chelsea linked, you notice immediately the first things they changed are the proportions to respect big, medium, small, and the balance by making the cart front heavier and the weapon smaller so that he looks like he can stand up.
Right, because he's kind of got that like Howl's Moving Castle thing going on a little bit.
Yep.
But even that's sort of insulting to
Yes.
Miyazaki.
Yep. Yeah, he's a very bad design. He's one of the few that I would consider over-designed. A lot of Riot's best designs are the ones that are not like I think one of Riot's like best visual designs, especially recently, is Silas. Silas has such amazing visual clarity in his design, and they really knew what the fat was for like a character, and they made sure that the only things that are in Silas's design is what's important to his character, which is why he's like big hands with chains and jeans. Like that's his whole like design, but it works really incredibly well. Like it's a very well thought out design. This is like legitimately a crime that they did this, but in the original concept art, Silas had like nerd glasses, like really like Dilfy glasses, and they took those out, and it's not fair. It's really not fair that they did that. I'm gonna link the original concept art because it's really good. I think I'll talk about this every single meeting.
Could you speak more on Rammus's design?
Rammus is an armadillo.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's a meme even by the design standards, and he's very kitchen sinky. Like back when there wasn't like a cohesive visual identity, but he's just like he's an armadillo. I don't know. That's his design.
Okay, how about something like Kled or Sejuani, where you have two things to work with, right? You have like the mount and then the actual character, or like Ivern with Daisy. How would you work around something like that? Because obviously it has to look unique, but they can't overpower each other, or like, because one can't overpower the other because they're both part of the design, right? So how would you come about balancing that?
Kind of. I think in both designs actually, Bristle and Kled's mount are secondary to the design, and Sejuani is the first read. And actually, I think Sejuani's design is a little bad because of the top camera, which means you obscure her silhouette on Bristle, because Bristle's really fat. Yeah. But Kled is the opposite of that. Kled was like taking that into consideration and making like a very slim mount that has a personality. And the way they did that is they brought the head of Kled's mount to Kled's eye level, so that when he's like walking, you get the double head read, and when you're looking at him from like the top 3/4, you get Kled first and then Thin mount second, and that's a really good design, because they work really really well together as for like a primary and then secondary read, and I can link Kled too. Kled's a cool champ. Also, in Kled's design, he has that stupid animal with the big ears, and it mirrors his ginormous, fluffy ears, too. Which is really, really funny. The shape language is hilarious. Yeah, it's like a lizard chocobo. But yeah, no. Bring back Silas's glasses. It's very important.
Only nerds wear glasses, so he can't be buff and have glasses.
Silas is a super nerd, dude.
He doesn't fight like one.
He does fight like a nerd.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He takes other people's power. That's nerdy.
Are my powers to have all the powers?
No.
Yeah, Silas is kind of that kid on the playground who is like, yeah, my superpower is that I have all of them. So, damn. Like, what are you gonna say to that? Like, you can't play with us anymore. Sorry, idiot.
What about evolving designs, like throughout the game, like Kale, Pulsefire Ezreal, or like MF? You know how the Gun Goddess MF has like 4 different variations?
Yeah, that's something that is taken into consideration very early in the design process, and it's very interesting to see how artists are considering it when they do that. I've linked I had a piece of concept art for that specifically in one of our talks, and let me see if I can find it again, because it's really like it's a very crucial part of making sure that this design works. Like it's you're not designing one character when you're doing something that's modular. You're designing 3 characters, and they all have to work really really well.
To everyone listening to my voice right now, I love all of you. Say it back.
Thanks for the dulcet tones.
I love you too, Dino.
That's epic. So, something I wasn't thinking about, I was really only thinking about his head and his, like, wing part, but I didn't really think about his, like, armor, because Swain's armor was designed to be super low-key. And,
yeah,
like,
he's got like that bulletproof vest.
Design document. Swain, like, his character is that he's like a very generic looking character aside from his old age and his demon hand. And that's like super intentional because he's supposed to be like unremarkable besides the key details. So thinking about how to make the armor like kind of play into that as well, like you really want to make his demon hand like a big thing, and you don't want his armor to be too overbearing. But like for me, I'm replacing his old age and his like white hair with this whole bird demon mask thing, which I may add the hair back in later because I think it's a pretty iconic part of his design.
You could do something like feathers instead.
Yeah,
well.
I'll see. But like replacing the he has this very I don't know what to call that. Like the collar of his coat, replacing that with a fur collar, swings us into old god, like weird kind of that sort of thing. Making small adjustments, just kind of what you think should happen, without like I don't know what I'm saying.
No, you're making a lot of sense. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's interesting to try to design something that's not supposed to be remarkable but still look cool.
Yes, yeah, and that is what Riot's gotten really good at doing. Like Zach just said, Kane is literally just dude with scythe and big pants, and that's like he's a very he's a design that reads like very very quickly, and how unremarkable his design is for base form Kane is really important because he either turns into a shadow assassin or a darken, and then that's when he can get more extravagant. But a lot of the newer designs are really like leaning on simple and like they say exactly what they want to say, which is a really 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 hard thing to do with design. They don't it's like they don't keep adding until it works. They keep cutting until it's like it doesn't read anymore, right? Like what actually is important
What
to
is
this
the
design?
bare minimum
Yep.
that they can get away with to make something read?
Yeah, like what is the like most important essence of this design? Yeah. And that's a really good design philosophy to have. Same with like game design too. It's a really really good way to think about things. Like what with the least amount of features, what makes this character, and working up from that, or working down to that.
Yeah, Zangief could be. Zangief is the SPD.
Zangief is a walking lariat.
He's a walking lariat in the SPD, and that's it. That's his entire character. Take everything else away, and that's Zangief. You see him do a lariat, you see him do an SPD, you know who it is. You already know what's going down.
Yeah, and they did that in Street Fighter V when they took away all of his stupid snake stuff.
Yeah. And they gave him a flex to get armor,
which is also sick.
Which is amazing. I can do a crazy little trick here, and I've realized that I gave this man a ginormous neck. So we're gonna just take this and we're gonna move it down because we can do that in digital world. We gotta erase some stuff.
Little legends are basically your avatar when you're playing the League of Legends' auto chess teamfight tactics, and they don't do anything. They don't like have gameplay. They're just there for you to like walk around with as your units are battling and emote and people.
They're super important, and they're also, I'm gonna say, one of Riot's biggest moneymakers right now, because I've already spent $300 on.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
Chelsea.
Yeah, that's 100%. I have to get them all.
Chelsea.
I want Chonk. I love them so much.
$300.
That's a lot of dollar bills.
Wait,
Yeah,
what was
how
it?
much
Just
money have you
little
spent on
legends.
League, be honest?
Well, okay,
We're not
hold on,
talking
wait, I was
about
about to say it depends on what was the time? What was like the time frame?
I mean, TFT's only been out for like a year and a half.
Wasn't it
So
2
like
years?
a year and a half.
No, it came out last July.
Was that really last year?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I spend like $50 each new set.
Adds up.
Wait, so TFT's had 4 seasons. Each season of TFT is 90 days.
So I've really only spent like $200. Possibly. Because I think I got another one for my birthday.
Okay, question.
What's up, Dino?
So, okay, so now a lot of the skins, right? There's not really that many 975 skins anymore, right? It's all like 1350 and above.
Yep.
And those 1350 skins, like nowadays, they're pretty good.
Yep.
I think back then they probably would pass for 1820.
That is true.
Right. So, aside from like different animations and voice lines, how do you compare a 13? How do you constitute what's 1350 and what's 1820? Considering that both are really high quality now.
I don't know as a concept artist how you would do that. I think Riot has a guide on what makes a skin price.
Okay.
Eventually, okay. So I have a really janky iPad, and it doesn't always work. And right now we're having an issue. Everything has frozen. This is lovely.
Yeah, they're basically like pets. If you play ARAM and you have a little legend, it'll follow you around. Okay, here's the difference between a 1350 and a 975 skin. So this is a 975 skin, and then this is a 1350 skin.
I'll be the judge of this. Wait, but Arcade Tone is 1350, isn't it?
Yes, that's the 1375 is the bottom one. 975 is the top one.
Ah. Yeah. I guess so. If that's what they think. I mean, what do they know?
Yanni, you've been on like Riot's campus, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
What's the net worth like?
What's the what?
Net worth of the campus.
It's dude, it's like really like LA, like it's very like startup. It's it's kind of it's an unreal experience being
What
there.
are the vibes?
The vibes are out of this world.
Good out of this world or bad out of this world?
Good out of this world. So, for example, the first thing that you see when you get into the campus is like the big Tibber statue, and then after that, there is a Bilgewater coffee bar, like right in the entrance hall, and then there's a huge courtyard that has a basketball court and just a bunch of like crazy shit, and then splitting
What's
off.
the quality of the ping pong tables?
Wow,
Mhm.
yeah, that's important.
I didn't see any ping pong tables, but they have like a PC bang and like
What
you
if
can
you
just
don't drink coffee?
well they have a lot of other stuff.
You die then. That's
You
right. Comes out the bring out the gat. Sorry, kid.
they have like a smoothie shop too.
I can't have fruit, so no smoothies.
And then they also have like a full like cafeteria thing where you get catered food and stuff as well.
It's not like they're just trying to keep you there.
Yeah, they do. They have a gym there too. In their courtyard, they have like a falconer that comes to scare the seagulls away, and he looks like Matt Mercer. There's a PC bang where you hang out with your coworkers and play League of Legends during the workday, and then there's like all of like the
During the workday.
yeah, during the workday, like you can
When
just
does the work get done?
also during the workday you can like there's no like hard structure. You basically have like team meetings at Riot where like if you're on like a design team, you're going to be meeting with them and then doing work. But you're encouraged to kind of like hang out at the job, and if you get your like work done and you're a good worker and stuff, like they encourage like coworkers playing games with each other and stuff and all that jazz.
Okay.
But the what's it called? The way that the office is set up is that you have like one building that's like a bunch of like meeting rooms, like these little conference rooms. They're named after the champions, and then like your like desk space is that like if you're a concept artist, you have like these kind of like cubicle style desks with all of the other concept artists at Riot. It's like really open, and you get to like walk around and talk with the other people that are in adjacent departments. Like the art teams are all together, the esports teams are all together. It's nuts. It's a really nuts place to be in. The energy is like off the walls.
Damn. Rated out of 10.
10.
That's lower than 11. Can't be that good.
I've never been to like a space that kind of fosters creatives, like Riot does. It's like kind of like unbelievable.
Dude, you've never been to my bedroom, dude. This is
Whoa.
this is the space right here. I've got a bed, and that's about it. I mean, creativity. This is it. This is the end game.
Yeah, creatives, not creative, Will.
Yeah,
What
since
do you mean there are multiple? There's only me.
Exactly,
since
that's what I'm
Will
saying.
needs to lay down to work, how will Riot accommodate him?
They'd probably get you a bed.
Actually, yeah, dude.
Can we-
Honestly,
will
that'd be
Riot-
so pog.
Right?
I have
come
like I
over.
have zero doubt that if you like talked about that to, like I'm pretty sure that like that would be something that would happen. Like I'm like no cap.
That'd be so pog.
No cap. Nice.
What if you don't have to lay down,
But you
but you
want to.
really like to? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there are places to sleep on campus. Oh, also they have like events, pretty much like every day, every other day. There's like a life drawing session where they bring in cosplayers to do life drawings and figure drawings and stuff.
they
That
get
happens
paid?
every Friday. They pay their models, yeah.
Okay.
And if you're an artist, you can just go there every like week and do some figure drawing with the homies.
You know what other studio completely unrelated to Riot is also really good about that kind of stuff?
What?
Adobe.
Hallmark.
Oh.
Hallmark has so many like fun little team building events, They have a market where all of their artists can like sell their own goods. They have like, I know in fall they have like pumpkin painting workshops where everyone gets a pumpkin and gets to paint.
I thought you hated Hallmark.
I would never want to work at Hallmark, but like, I'm not gonna lie, like the company's good.
Arden's told me that Nickelodeon has a beer vending machine.
Yo, Pog. Imagine being like, yo, I'm gonna take a break. Let me go get a 40 real quick.
Yeah, when Arden was meeting with like an art director at Nickelodeon, and he gets into like the office, and the guy's in like khaki shorts and a t-shirt, and he's got like 3 beers on the desk, and he offers Arden one. Like that was the first like experience he had with the
that's
company.
a working environment. Now that's fostering creativity. Nickelodeon.
But Riot's really interesting. Like for example, if you guys don't know this, the way that TFT was made was that a couple of Riot employees, I think it was 6, kind of like took all of their cubicles and moved them into a corner and then walled it off from the rest of the studio, and for 3 weeks just developed a TFT prototype. It was like, here you go. This is what we want to do. And Riot was like, yeah, let's do it. That's sick. Which is just really, really nuts.
Burbank, California. Yeehaw.
I just got my first creepy Twitter DM.
Nice.
From who?
I don't know. I'm hoping to get some Cash App money. This has never happened before. Like, my face isn't on my profile. Oh, it is. Never mind. Give me money.
What are you talking about? You lost me.
What are you talking about?
Ouch.
You know.
Teach me about design, Yorny.
What do you want to learn?
Me, my graphic design skills kind of suck, so.
I don't think I can.
There.
I don't think I can help you there.
I can help with that.
Yeah,
really?
It's more Chelsea's Avenue. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh god. I feel like I know that. Like from Princess Mononoke, those little leaf people.
Oh, are you talking about Korok from Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking of. I couldn't remember their name.
Well, those are definitely little
Late
leaf people.
January. Early November. What the?
Yo, I respect Swain though. He kind of wears the heels though.
I do play Persona.
Kodama?
He's wearing like. He's
Kodama.
wearing like.
Yeah.
He's wearing like. Kadima.
Kodama.
No, Kadima. That's the game you play on the beach.
Kodama.
No, they're
Yeah.
from Princess Mononoke too. The Kodamas.
No, I'm thinking of Kadima. Me and the boys playing some Kadima. Kodama, more like.
Where are you going with that one? Bring her
More
home.
like
Bring it home.
Kadima. Kadima. That's what Kadima is.
Sick.
Hasbro, remote graphic design intern. Ooh.
Oh yeah, what's your questions about graphic design? What's up,
I don't
homie?
know.
I think he was memeing.
No, I was being serious.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Am I nothing but a meme to this entire server
No, it's
and
just
the other ones?
it was just the delivery. Yanni, teach me about design. I need help with graphic design.
I don't know. Like, so I think it's this typography class that's really. I was like, yeah, we're gonna learn how to design with typography, and I think we're starting to do that now. But you know, it's like week 7.
Which is not optimal. That's not Pog.
You do hate to see it.
I was like,
My big graphic design tips for people that aren't graphic designers are, if you can line something up, do it. There's no reason not to, and it always looks better if like it's boxed.
Guru.
Second advice: no widows.
I know what that is.
What's the other one? No widows and
Orphans.
no.
It's no
Yeah,
orphans,
no
no widows.
orphans. And
I've never heard of this before, but they're really cute.
Widows and orphans are cute.
No, what Chronicle's talking about.
Dude, orphans can be cute.
I mean,
Yeah, that's like the foundation for like the urchin archetype.
Yeah.
and
This
if you
definitely
don't need
isn't
to
a
use-
Riot design, but it's kind of sick. Like,
Yeah, I'm
I
digging
got-
it. I'm digging it.
Oh, unless you have to warp your text, just don't do it.
yeah, don't stretch it.
I don't know.
You've
I
covered
think-
about everything we've done in the past 6 weeks. Thank you, Chelsea.
You're
Wow,
welcome.
that's
It
jinkies.
took us 6 weeks to get all that done.
Really, the big thing is like boxing. Like if you can line things up and keep them in a nice tidy box, like there's not a single logo that won't work in a nice box.
Okay.
Balance.
Balance.
Where's Chris?
Because things that are symmetrical are
Where-
like
what
instantly
happened to
bad.
Chris? Yeah,
I
never
think
showed
the
up.
problem, or the thing I struggle with is like the layout. Because the assignment we're doing now is grids, right? We're
Let's
working
go,
with grids.
Zach.
And so,
Hell yeah.
I guess now it's like, oh, how you lay out your grid will like the kind of grid you have, it's gonna affect how you lay out your thing, and obviously, and all that. But I just feel like, I don't know, this should have been covered like at the start.
Since I don't know formal graphic design, I just know like the illustrator's tips
Hmm.
to like still be able to use text while you're working. That's kind of like the extent of my knowledge. Like I don't know the technical side of graphic design.
Yeah.
But I have a good sense and I know enough that I can work around it kinda. So that's what I can offer is that. Like I don't know what grids are unless you're talking about just like making things into straight columns and stuff.
Oh,
Graphic design
Mm-mm.
grids. I'm gonna look it up.
there's like a bunch of different types of grids. There's like radial grids, I don't know, some dilatational, or I don't know how to say that, but something like that.
Interesting.
Interesting. Nah, those are stupid looking.
Oh, I
Disneyland.
like that take a lot. It's really cool.
Which take? What are we taking?
Zach's is really sick.
Thank you.
I'll be the judge. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I'm trying not to do creatures for once.
How's that working out?
It's fine. I'm living.
It's pain.
Yarn, what shape is your brush?
A rectangle, but it's a chalk brush, so it's got like a bit of texture to it.
Why is it a rectangle?
Cause I want a brush with a corner to it, so I can get hard edges. Yeah, pretty much that.
How's that animated illustration class?
It's sick. I've done some really cool work for it. I'm having a great time. Have you seen the work I've been
Wow.
doing, Dino?
I saw the one you were working on stream. I saw that one. I saw the crown one, or like with the knife under your chin. I think. Yeah. Then you posted a whip today, did you not?
I posted an exercise I had to do for class, which was really quick little.
Where did you post it?
It should
I
be in
saw it.
voice text a little bit up.
Ah, here it is.
Wah. Shadows. Wah.
What was the assignment or
Um,
exercise?
Morph an animal or person into an object.
Uh,
But I didn't. I've rushed through all my in-class assignments because I've been super behind on them. So that I think I did that in like 3 hours or so, just really quickly.
I mean, as long as you did it.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy with it for how much time I put into it.
Yo, let's check my art station.
I have to do 144 grid sketches. I don't know where
That's so many.
I don't know where he pulls these numbers from. They just come out of his ass because I don't. One time it's like 200, another time it's 100 or 50, and then it's like 10 or 144. Where's he?
Come on, it's only 144.
It's not as much as the last one, but it's like, well, because our last project was just tracing. You come up with a haiku, and then you put it out, and you lay it out in InDesign. Like there's a bit more to it, but I finished it in a day because it shouldn't be an assignment.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a lot of your assignments should not be assignments.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm in the wrong major.
You graduated. What are you talking about?
Whoops.
It's almost like graphic design is kind of a no one.
Fake major.
Ooh, she said it, not me. But from what I've heard is that, so this is Savannah professor. I don't know why he's teaching Atlanta this quarter, but from what I heard is that the way Savannah teaches graphic design is very like traditional, not the same way Atlanta does.
I have no idea how either, like, what locations teach graphic design differently. So I'm gonna trust you on that one.
Is Atlanta strictly worse than Savannah?
Wait a minute.
Like, I feel like I've never heard anyone talk about Atlanta, even though it exists.
They do
like
some
10.
programs better.
Hmm.
There's a difference in specialization.
Their film thing is better because they're located like in a television thing. I think something. I don't know. I remember hearing them talk about that.
The DMC, which is like your Monty, is it's an old TV station. But
Gotcha.
I think our film students are pretty. A lot of them are very like hardworking, and a lot of the work they do is really good.
Yeah, I don't know. If I have to discriminate against one major, it's film.
True. That's a good call.
What are we discriminating? Why are we discriminating?
Why not?
Film majors are usually pretty mean. Really cliquey, at least.
Anime kids kind of stink.
It's true.
Game design kids kind of stink.
Yo, illustration kids though, actually, I don't know about the rest, but Will Grossman, yo, he's sick. Kid's nuts.
I have a friend who's an animation and then like a game design minor, and they told me, like animation kids are stinky by choice because they spend all night working, but game design kids are just inherently stinky. And I thought that was hilarious because that seems to be the case on our campus at least. What do you think, Chelsea? What do you think, Yarny?
I think
Who's the
there's
stinkiest major? Which major's the stinkiest?
I think that there's like a specific type of animation major, and then there's
The
like a couple.
weebs.
There's a couple of types of animation majors.
The weebs.
Also,
Um,
Sequel kids sometimes.
I think
Sorry,
games
Zach.
majors at Savannah are pretty cool.
I think art students are pretty stinky in general.
You know,
Nah,
that's very fair.
I
Except
disagree.
like fashion and fibers.
I
they're
did
always
no.
just
Stop.
really-
This is wrong. I don't know how you can say that when like STEM exists. This is like just untrue. We're
Maybe
like,
Oh,
like
yeah,
just
you're
college
right.
students are pretty stinky.
Yeah, that's probably facts. I don't know what to do with this back leg. I might change it.
I think, I don't know, like a lot of the animation kids here,
Back
they're
leg
usually,
boring.
they just look like they've been through so much. It's because they're up all night, like drawing the same thing over and over. And you go up near, you come near them, and it's not that they like
They
stink, but
cry.
there's like there's a hint of BO, and you're like, oh man, are you okay? It's like, no, I've been here all night. Oh, well, it sucks, but I did that once. I did that when I was sick.
did you know?
Yeah, I stayed on campus to all night. I threw up like 10 times that night. It was wild.
Ouch, that sucks, dude.
But I got a 96, so.
Then it was worth it.
And then my sketchbook grade brought it down. So you know. So they kind of canceled out. But yeah, I did it.
As the resident little legend expert, I'm prepared. Give it to me. Oh my god. I support this more than I've ever supported anything.
I love them a lot.
Flower.
Yeah, that's Pog. I love the them carrying the leaf. That's so good.
I
It's
think
like a hat or umbrella.
I think
that's
I
great.
like the headband better. So we're at a kerfuffle. You've got one headband and one flower.
I see the headband and all I think of is Jigglypuff.
You don't think of Jigglypuff, you think of H-Box.
I think of Jigglypuff. Because I don't think about H-Box ever.
I guess that's right. Who would want to?
Yeah. Locked him out.
Who's in charge of putting the reels together? You know those reels they do of student work?
Career.
Is that like a Savannah Atlanta thing or strictly a Savannah thing?
I haven't seen anyone on Atlanta get in, but it's the career like administration does it. Like it's
Must be
like
Savannah.
So at the end of every quarter, your professor submits the best work from your class to the chair, and then the chair submits
that to the career.
once again the best work up the line
Okay.
from the major. And then that's how they pick.
I know like a big thing with the one of the animation professors at
Oh,
on
real quick,
campus.
it's why you have to submit your work in Dropbox and that final submission thing, and not like
Yeah.
your normal Dropbox, because the final submissions is what admins have access to.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you can go back.
Feet. All my homies hate drawing feet and shoes.
So one of the professors said, he was talking to my friend, and they were discussing like his film, and he told him, he's like, I think he's like animation at Atlanta is like going through the dark ages, because there's like a lot of students who just don't do their work, like they just don't do their work and they don't practice in their free time, and it shows because a lot of the films turn out to be just complete disasters. But yeah,
I've heard similar
Okay.
things about our games department, where a lot of like the There's a lot of people that are like senior, junior in our games program right now that are not that aren't doing a work that's on the quality that would be expected of somebody who's a senior or junior. A lot of professors are not happy about it.
I think some classes, like I think some animation motion media classes should be like required for. So I think animation students should take motion media 1, and motion media students should take the 2D animation class. I think that should be a requirement for both, because I think they work hand in hand, and I think I wouldn't be able to do the level of work I'm doing in motion media now had I not done those animation classes. I don't know how to bring that
All
up to
for like interconnecting the majors more.
That's what. Yeah. Well, you were there. We were talking to Steven.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, we just want to get.
It just needs to happen.
Yep.
Like, there's no bad thing that arises from it. It's all positive. Unless it starts like a class war between majors, but highly doubt that would happen.
I don't know.
I mean,
Charles.
motion media is called degraded animation on our campus.
Why?
I don't know. It's obviously a joke, but
Where is it?
I don't know. I think my friends just hate me.
Motion media.
Fucking rip, dude. Nothing chat.
Hmm. So, what's everyone up to?
Drawing. What are you up to, Dino?
In this picture, yeah.
I'm doing my sketches, my 144 sketches of grids.
Nice.
The grids?
Yeah, because
That sounds so mind-numbing.
it is. I've done 4. Only 140 left.
Nice. When are they due?
Tuesday. So what we're supposed to do is 144 sketches of grids. Then you pick your favorite 10 and you do them like digital. And then of those 10, you pick 3, and then you do multiple compositions on those 3 that you've picked. All due for Tuesday. And then the final is due Thursday. But for Thursday, you just have to hand in your process. So basically, the whole project is due Tuesday. I don't know why
They
he
didn't mean
keeps
do
doing
like
this.
13 and 14 instead of 144. Maybe just fat fingered the button. Like that,
And you have to do them by hand, you're not
144
to do them
seems
digital.
excessive.
The project before this one, we had to do 200, and then you do 50 poster thumbnails, and then of those 50, you do 20 of them like clean, refined poster thumbnails or sketches, and then of those 50, okay, so you do 200, then you do 50, and then you do 20, and then of those 20, you do 6 digital, and then you pick your favorite. It's unnecessarily excessive.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of. Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's design though. Like
I-
every design, like concentration, has that like massive reiteration. Huge
No, I
numbers. Like
get it.
in illustration, you do like maybe 10 thumbnails, 10 to 20. But in concept art, like Sanchez makes you do 50 silhouettes. And it's the design of it. Like you have to eliminate bad shit, and that's why the numbers are insane.
And
Sorry,
I
guys.
get it. I get it. Like I really do. I understand. Like we've done it in animation so many times. What I don't get is why you. So, the thing is, if you're gonna assign that much, like 270 sketches to be done, by Tuesday when you've assigned it Thursday.
That's the part I don't like. But also,
And then he's like, you cannot do it digitally. You have to do it by hand. I'm like, well, then what's the, like, I don't know.
like, I can even semi understand the quick turnaround. I can't understand not being able to do it digitally. That's kind of insane to me.
Yeah, if I had to do 144 individual grids, I'd be duplicating some of them, changing them just a little bit. Like, I don't know. Thinking of 140 different things that are all like pretty similar, that's hard. I don't have enough brain power for that.
Who just joined? Beak.
That is Adri or
I
Ellie.
think Adri / Ellie.
Welcome to the club. I'm vice president.
That's
Nice
not
to meet
true.
you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, who is vice president?
Chris, but he's not here.
Okay. Well, I am the current replacement.
And I'm the alumni mentor.
And I'm Will Grossman.
Why can't I be the alumni mentor? Why is that not a role?
That seems like a pretty good role.
Exactly. It's perfectly tangible.
It is. Tangerine.
Bro,
I
let me
like
in.
tangerines. Will?
Yeah,
What power do I have?
all of
Sure.
it.
I'm like the lowest rung. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of the concept art officer power hierarchy.
For now.
For now, at least. Yeah, before I plot my rise to the top.
Back when I was an officer, we were all equals.
That's what I'm saying. Back when Chelsea was officer, I was able to come on campus and attend a meeting in person. None of this online garbage.
True.
Yeah, it's
And
all
then
my fault.
my
I
home.
created the virus.
And then we went to eat burritos. What a life.
I miss you, Dino.
I don't know what to do anymore because all I do is leave the house to what do I leave the house to do? I don't leave the house. I take my grandpa to his dialysis sessions. Other than that, I just stay home.
Good social distancing, Dino.
Thanks. Not that I have that many friends to be with. I have like what, 4?
Million.
Nah,
Friends.
trillion. Yeah, our friend group is like 4 people.
What are you talking
Who's in your friend group?
Well, it's like 8 people, but I only talk to like 3 of them or 2 of them.
My friend group is Yanni.
Oh,
My friend group is also Yanni.
I can't wait until I get to add Will to my friend group and he
Dude,
actually
that'd be
comes over to
sick.
my home.
Dude. That'd be Pog. I have your address now, so it's feasible.
I know where they live. I've been there.
Actually, we moved Dino.
Oh, does it still stink? Is it the paper mill?
Nope.
No.
Guys upgraded when I wasn't there.
I'm pretty sure we told you about it.
Yeah, you did, but still.
Not a
Think
good
you
look
know
for you,
someone.
Chief.
I keep getting these headaches like right behind my eye and it's so hard to draw.
Allergies? Question mark.
That's very probable.
Yeah, I haven't. I have a PhD in
No, you're not.
ENT medicine.
Oh.
Ears, nose, throat. Hey, Yarn,
Hello.
tell us a joke.
I'm good right now, I think.
Yo,
Go
I
on.
got
That
one.
was a joke.
I got
Go
a
ahead,
joke.
Will.
Man, not a fan of working in the elevator business. I mean, it's always so chaotic, you know? It always has its ups and downs.
Somebody kick him. But you were the only one who did actually contribute to the joke. So 10 out of 10. I'm now watching your stream.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
This is
I'm
this
switching
guy.
off of your stream. I'm gonna watch Yanni's stream.
Yarn.
Damn.
I'm doing a little bit of research right now.
Oh, research.
You hate to see it.
Sorry.
My stream's
not-
epic.
I just need to go and do more studies of like guns and stuff. I'm not happy with how things are.
Guns.
Yeah.
Well, that's where politics
Yeah,
comes in. You can exercise your
knowing
Second
how,
Amendment.
like guns is very. So you have to know exactly how guns work to design like cool guns. Like more so than like a lot of other things. They're very specific.
Things just
played
aren't like
Valorant
as
once.
clear as I want them to be right now.
I played Valorant and I didn't find that game fun. It's kind of
Do you like
boring.
Counter
I'm
Strike?
not a fan of Valorant either. I'm bad at Valorant.
What, Yarn?
Do you like Counter Strike?
No.
I mean, yeah, there you go.
I like Call of Duty. I like that.
Yeah. I like Destiny.
So does Yarn.
Yeah, I know. What's up, gamers? Can I get a read on the gamers?
I'll type it in chat.
By gamers, I mean ever read on the gamers. Yeah, thanks, Dino. Really sick.
Coming back to chat. A fairy tale themed skin for League.
There's like Elderwood, but that's
I,
like the closest thing, right?
No, there's the D&D skins, and then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Trainer.
Dragon
Dragon
Trainer,
Trainer.
and then there's Elderwood. Coven is kind of fairy tale-y.
I mean, Annie has a Red Riding Hood skin.
Isn't there like an Elderwood adjacent skin line?
Coven. Isn't that
Yeah,
it?
Coven's. I'm doing a Coven skin right now.
No, there's another one.
I'm doing Coven / Old God Swain. Which I think is turning out kind of sick. Honestly, not bad. So far.
Death Blossom is what I was thinking of.
I mean,
What do you mean, eh?
listen, when you know about design, come talk
Oh
to me.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you know about graphic design, then I'll think about it.
Mm.
But until then, you have a long way to go, Yarny.
Mm.
Propagarius.
I wanted to make
So,
more kaiju skins really badly.
What's a kaiju?
That's like the World Breaker ones, right?
No,
That's
giant
the
like
kaiju line.
like giant enemy crab got.
Oh, right. Giant enemy crab.
Have you
He's
seen
what?
giant enemy crab got, Zach? It's like it's one of the
Splash.
coolest skins in the game. It used to be a really, really, really memey skin. Like probably the memeiest skin in the game. And when they updated Urgot, they made it really, really cool. The old one is horrifyingly bad. And I kind of don't even want to link it because of how bad it is.
Please,
You
please
want?
do.
Do you want to see this? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I need your
Dude, I wanna see
I need
this.
your
I love the
explicit
old
consent.
League skin.
I need your
skin.
explicit consent. I say I consent to seeing this.
I consent to seeing this terrible image of League. Oh,
Oh, this guy's
I
great.
regret.
This is the best design I've ever seen.
Yep, that's the.
Is that a crab with human feet?
No, he's carrying
He's
a
carrying a
girl.
woman.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the
Man,
human feet was coming
He's
out
kind
of
of
him.
got, he's kind of got like a monkey face going on. If you
don't
look
like
close,
him.
he's oof. This is a
The-
design and a half.
The in-game skin was even better. Just orange, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, there's something about his mouth which is very like kind of like gorilla-esque, which is really weird because he's supposed to be a crab.
He has gorilla face.
Yeah, he has a gorilla face. Like, look at that nose and look at that mouth and look at that left eye.
I also really don't like that he's stitched together.
Is he stitched? I didn't even notice that. Yeah, ew. That's gross.
What giant enemy crab got the bottom one?
Yeah, the old one.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life, by far. Somebody painted this. I just want everyone to know that.
I was about to say, how do you think they're doing now?
I don't think it's like. I think that I just feel bad for the artist that had to paint that. You know. But new giant enemy crab god is one of the coolest skins in the game.
Give me a Gnar skin like this.
That'd be pretty sick. That actually ain't a bad idea.
I mean, it came from me. It can never be a bad idea. Okay, think of this one. Lee Sin, but he punches.
That's
Never
already a
been done.
thing. Yep, it is.
Prove it. That's what I thought.
What?
I asked you to prove it. You didn't do anything.
Yeah, Divine Fist Lee said, and he punches. His Divine Fist.
Lee Sin. Is that a skin?
Yes.
Divine Fist.
Or God Fist. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
It's literally the same thing.
Define definition. Oh, you know what? It might be the same thing.
It is. It's the same thing.
This isn't my server, so I'm going to be polite and say that yes, it is the same thing.
Thank
but
you.
if this was
Thank
my
you.
server,
No,
which
no,
it
nope,
is,
nope. There's no but. There's no but. That's
there
the
is a
polite
but,
thing.
and
No,
my but is the only one that matters.
Nope.
Listen,
you're not being polite, Dino.
you're not being polite by listening to me. I feel that everyone's opinion matters, and that doesn't
I
seem to be
don't.
the case in this server.
Yeah, I don't, because
you're
I don't
trying
feel
to
that
shut
way.
me up.
No one feels that way.
Chelsea, do you feel this way?
I didn't hear it.
That means she agrees with me.
No, I'm sorry.
Listen, Yarny.
Russian Yarny.
Oh, okay. Is that how we're doing it now? Fine, that's cool.
Okay,
Rude.
Okay.
it is 8 o'clock, so I am gonna wrap it down. I love you guys. Bye.
Boy.
Bye. We'll miss you.
See ya.
Who's left chilling?
Me and the boys.
All right, just the 6 of us. I'm gonna end.